Hello everyone. I'm making this video because I am writing an essay on marriage as a tool by the more powerful faction of a society or government to control what is deemed inferior peoples, or any person who is deemed undesirable by these current society. This video is just for me to kind of talk my way through and make basically it's a reminder video. I have ADD, which you will notice while I'm talking because I can't keep the same train of thought going, so this is to sort of focus my essay. The first point I wanted to make, in ancient, I believe Greek and Roman societies, marriages didn't have, two people were married if they agreed to be married, if they said they were married. There was no, what I'm playing with, by the way, is my Absolute Colors Pride vodka shuttle. Go out and buy one, or get the liquor store owner to give it to you, which is what I did. Anyway, ancient Greek and Roman societies, two people were married if they said they were. There was no ceremony. You didn't have to have witnesses. Nothing. It wasn't really official, legal, like it is today. Women didn't have rights, though. They were property. I'm still fact-checking really old societies, so I don't know that much about those. In slightly more modern times, European marriages, they were all about. It was business arrangements. Love had nothing to do with it. There was no. Women were nothing. They were property. It was a way to make family alliances and to increase one's wealth. Men ruled the household. Women were inferior to men then. So, they took care of the family and had responsibilities to the household and the religion, but that was it. And then I believe the troubadours were the ones first responsible for free love and courtly love. It was in, I have to look up the date. I forgot. I just wrote it down too. But they sort of advocated, you get married and then you sleep with the person you love. You have an affair. Discreetly, of course. Not even discreetly, I don't think. In Germany, during World War II, during the Nazi rule, there were laws against Jews, who were deemed inferior during that time, against marrying Aryans, and they could only marry other Jews, I think. I'm still fact-checking, so I could be wrong. But I believe they were only allowed to marry other Jews, and they were not allowed to marry Aryans. And then we come to America during the civil rights era. Blacks, basically I'm talking about, blacks and whites were not allowed to marry because blacks were deemed inferior at the time to white people. I don't think they legally allowed marriages to Native Americans either, although people, took spouses among those, and they were sort of common law. Also during slave times, African Americans, black people, were not allowed to marry amongst themselves, really. They couldn't legally be married, I don't think, but during the time they could sort of common law marry, and plantation owners greatly encouraged marriages, sort of like, jump the broom marriages or whatever. I'm still fact checking. Among two people on the same plantation to increase the slaves' ties to the plantation and make so that they would have children and spouses and be less likely to run away. And now it is illegal for homosexuals to marry. Women cannot marry women, and men cannot marry men. Need I say that we are now the inferior people, which is unfortunate. I think we've seen through society, Jews can now marry whomever they please, well, legally anyway. I think there are religious or cultural things there, but I'm not sure. And there are now interracial marriages. Why is it not our turn? Why are we now the last inferior people? I think this is the main question I'm getting at. We're now the inferior people, and it's time for us to be thought of as equal with everyone else. I also wanted to end with a quote that I just read recently, which I will botch it because I can't remember anything properly. But basically, you cannot oppress the rights of your neighbor without striking a serious blow at your own. It's in my Facebook quotes, just it's there if you want to read the actual quote. But basically, you can't have true freedom while any one person is oppressed. And I'm gonna turn this off.